as the rain begins. We're sharing our indoor picnic, our Tat Shabbat. Ma yafeh hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Ma yafeh hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Wow, I'm so thrilled that you are joining us today. It is starting to rain. There might even be some thunder. We'll talk about that as we move through our Tat Shabbat. But at this moment, I am so thrilled that you are here. Hine ma tov u'ma na'im. There's somebody else here with us this evening. Our cantorial soloist, Alexandra. Alexandra, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, Rabbi.
I'm so glad you were able to come. This is a special treat. You're not always available for Tat Shabbat, and you are today. And I see some friends that I don't know their names. Hi, Shabbat Shalom. What's your name?
Shabbat Shalom. I'm Esmeralda.
Esmeralda? Wow, that's a beautiful name.
Thank you.
Shabbat Shalom.
Oh, Shabbat Shalom.
Ma shimcha? What's your name?
My name is Jacobi.
Jacobi? Those don't sound like American names, Jacobi and Esmeralda. Well, you know what? I'm glad that you're here. We're going to get back to your names in a little bit, but Esmeralda and Jacobi, the children from Congregation Emmanuel and I, we have a way that we greet one another. It's with an echo. Whatever Rabbi says, would all of you children and Jacobi and Esmeralda, would you repeat after me?
Yeah.
Here we go.
Let's do it. Yeah.
Hine matov uma na'im shevet achim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov uma na'im shevet achim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov uma na'im shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov uma na'im shevet achot gam yachad. Hine matov uma na'im shevet achim shevet achim gam yachad. Wow. I am thrilled that you are here. You know, when I come to synagogue, the first thing that I do is notice the kippot all around. And I can always choose a kippah. Today I chose a white kippah, lavan, because I wanted the kippah to match my dress. I hope you have a kippah. If you do, show me. If not, remember, you can just have an imaginary kippah that reminds you that the source is above. Kippah yarmulke shows the world you're a Jew. Wear it all day or just when you pray. It's totally up to you. I wear a kippah on my head to remind me that God is above. Wearing a kippah is one of the ways I show my respect and my love. Kippah yarmulke shows the world you're a Jew. Wear it all day or just when you play. It's totally up to you. Some put it on when they eat, and others just when they pray. Some of us, like Rabbi, wear a kippah everywhere during the day. Kippah yarmulke shows the world you're a Jew. Wear it all day or just when you play. It's totally up to you. What was that, Esmeralda? You were going to tell me a secret? Oh, Esmeralda asked me, how do I keep the kippah on my head? She thought maybe it was magic. Esmeralda, it's not magic. I use these little clips. I put the kippah on my head, and I clip the kippah to my hair. So maybe next Tat Shabbat, you can borrow some clips from me so that we can do that together.
Sounds great.
Good. I like that. Well, Shabbat Shalom. When I wake up in the morning, the first prayer that I say is, listen, all Israel, the source, my God, HaShekhinah, is one. Shema, Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. Get your seatbelts on, here we go. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 I love Shabbat. Bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam, yap bam 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 bam, bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam. Welcome Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom.
Hey.
Shabbat Shalom.
Hey.
Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom.
Hey.
Shabbat Shalom.
Hey.
Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom. So today is Shabbat. And today, during Tat Shabbat, we're going to be singing so many songs. And we are going to use a different alphabet. Not the alphabet, but rather the Aleph bet. Jacobi, Esmeralda, Alexandra, do you know the Aleph bet?
I do. I don't.
Not yet.
Not yet, no.
You know, Jacobi, you and Esmeralda have such beautiful names. Where do you live?
Well, we are from Tzfat, Israel.
Oh, you live in Tzfat, Israel. I used to live there.
Wow.
My daughter Bar was born in Tzfat.
Amazing.
And Jacobi, I hear that name like Yaakov, but Jacobi and Esmeralda, those aren't just Hebrew names. Where were you born?
Wow. Do you want to tell? Oh, you can tell. Okay. We were born in Spain. Then we moved.
You moved from Spain to Israel?
Yes.
You made Aliyah?
We did.
Wow. So I know you're working on your alphabet. A lot of my children know the alphabet, but we have a way to help you remember.
Thanks.
And that is that whatever I sing, you repeat after me. Aleph, bet, vet.
Aleph, bet, bet.
Gimel, dalet, hey.
Gimel, dalet, hey.
Vav, zayin, chet, tet.
Vav, zayin, chet, tet.
Yud, kaf, chaf.
Yud, kaf, chaf.
Lamed, mem, nun.
Lamed, mem, nun.
Samech, ayin, pei, fei.
Samech, ayin, pei, fei.
Sadi, kuf, resh.
Sadik, kuf, resh.
Shin, sin,
Sin,
tav. Let's sing it all again.
Sounds good.
It's easy as you can see and hear. Rabbi will sing the alphabet. Won't you all repeat after me? Here we go. Aleph, bet, bet.
Aleph, bet, bet.
Gimel, dalet, hey.
Gimel, dalet, hey.
Vav, zayin, chet, tet.
Vav, zayin, chet, tet.
Yud, kaf, chaf.
Yud, kaf, chaf.
Lamed, mehem, nun.
Lamed, mehem, nun.
Samech, ayin, pei, fei.
Samech, ayin, pei, fei.
Sadi, kuf, resh.
Sadik, kuf, resh.
Shin,
Shin,
sin,
sin,
tav. That's great. Well, I would like to sing about the Torah.
Yeah.
You might know the Torah. We call it a tree. Here we go. It is a tree of life to them that hold fast to it. All its supporters are happy. You know, that's too high for Rabbi. We're going to try one more time.
It was high for me too. Too high.
It is a tree of life for them that hold fast to it, and all its supporters are happy. It is a tree of life for them that hold fast to it, and all its supporters are happy. Shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom. Eitz chaim hi למחזיקים בה וכל תומכיה מאושר. Eitz chaim hi למחזיקים בה וכל תומכיה מאושר. Shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom. Shalom. Well, Jacobi, Esmeralda, do you know the Hebrew word for tree?
Can't remember.
Eitz.
That's the first word of the song.
That's right. Eitz
Oh.
means tree. And eitzim are trees. Well, here's a little song about a tree. Well, the green grass grows all around and around, and the green grass grows all around. Try that.
Green grass grows all around and
and the green grass grows all around. Listen to this. And in that grass, there was a hole.
There was a hole.
The most beautiful hole.
The most beautiful hole
that you ever did see.
that you ever did see.
Oh, the hole in the ground, and the green grass grows all around and around, and the green grass grows all around. And in that hole,
And in that hole,
there grew an eights.
there grew an eighth.
The most beautiful eights
The most beautiful eighth
that you ever did see.
that you ever did see.
Oh, the eights in the hole, and the green grass grows all around and around, and the green grass grows all around. And on that tree,
And on that tree,
there was a branch.
there was a branch.
The most beautiful branch
The most beautiful branch
that you ever did see.
that you ever did see.
Oh, the branch on the eights and the green grass, the eights in the hole, and the green grass grows all around and around, and the green grass grows all around. And on that branch,
And on that branch,
there was a tzipor.
there was a tzidor.
Tzipor.
Poor?
Do you want to know what a tzipor is?
I do.
A tzipor is a bird. The most beautiful tzipor that you ever did see, that you ever did see. Oh, the tzipor on the branch, and the branch on the tree, and the tree in the hole, and the hole in the ground, and the green grass grows all around and around, and the green grass grows all around. Well, let me tell you, today we would have been outside under the eight-seam, under the trees, but there was expected so much rain that we thought it would be better to picnic indoors. And I'm hoping that next week, when we have services at 6 o'clock outdoors at Hasbrook Park, you're going to come and I can tell you what happened to the bird on the branch, and the branch on the tree, and the tree in the hole, and a hole in the ground. I also want to tell you that Jacoby and Esmeralda are going to be in my story today during services. I'm going to tell you a little bit about what happened to them when they moved from Spain to Israel and the adventure that they had. But for now, Jacoby and Esmeralda, the children, know all kinds of Hebrew nursery rhymes from Israel. Let's do one of them. Get your hands ready. Repeat after me. Be my echo. Balon katan.
Balon katan.
Balon kachol.
Balon kachol.
Ratza lehiot.
Ratza lehiot.
Achi gadol.
Ahi gadol.
What did it need to do? Hitna peach.
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 Hitpotzets hapikeach. It popped, that poor little balloon. If we were outside, we might see not just an eights or a tzipor, but we might also see a parpar. A parpar flies like a tzipor, but it's much smaller. A parpar is a bird, but a tzipor is a bird, but a parpar is an insect, a butterfly.
That was my guess.
That was your guess. Call the butterfly to you. Bo elai parpar nechmad, litayeli al hayad. Come, take a trip on my hand. Al habeten on my tummy. Al hagav on my back. Al halechi on my cheek. Al ha'af on my nose. Ve'af Let's call that part again. Bo elai par nechmad, litayeli al hayad, al habeten, al hagav, al haktafayim, al hapsanter, al haozen, al harosh, al hametzach, al hapeh, al ha'af, ve'af.
Bye.
I would love to use my hands to tell you yet another story. This is a story from the Talmud. Al shlosha divarim. Al shlosha divarim. Al shlosha divarim. Ha'olam omed. Al haTorah ve'al ha'avodah ve'al gemilut chasadim. Al haTorah ve'al ha'avodah ve'al gemilut chasadim. Esmeralda and Jacobi, I know when you came to Israel, you had to learn a lot of new things, right? And I bet you don't know that in our Beit Knesset, in our synagogue, we have a Torah. In fact, we have 5 Sifrei Torah. Chamesh. But we keep them protected in a special place called the Aron HaKodesh. And Jacobi, you're going to need to know this for our story today. Now the thing is, where is the Aron HaKodesh? Where is the special place we keep the Torah? I'm going to give you a hint. Look for the Ner Tamid Esmeralda, Jacobi. Children, look for the Ner Tamid, the light that never goes out. Well, that light goes out. That light goes out when we go home. Even the candles go out when we go home because it's very dangerous to leave candles on. But, oh, wait, the children are yelling. I hear you. Behind me? Behind me? Look up. There it is, kids. The Ner Tamid. It's up there. That's the light that never goes out. Torah, 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 Tiva lanu Moshe. Torah, 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 Tiva lanu Moshe. Torah, 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 tziva lanu Moshe. Torah, 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 tziva lanu Moshe. Kobe, Esmeralda, would you like to touch the Torah?
Yes, please.
Feel how soft it is? Oh, Kobe, you want to know what this is? This is the yad. Yeah. And this is the crown. And the Torah goes in the Aron HaKodesh. Come, Kobe and Esmeralda, let's count together the Sifrei Torah that we have. Achat.
Achat.
Shtayim.
Shtayim.
Shalosh.
Shalosh.
Arba.
Arba.
Chamesh.
Chamesh.
We have 5 Sifrei Torah. Wow. Amazing. I bet you're wondering where we got them from. We got them as a gift from the divine. Moses was the one who brought them down from the divine to us at Mount Sinai. Well, I hope that you can be my echo once again.
Sounds good.
Adon Olam,
Adon Olam,
Asher Malach,
Asher Malach,
V'terem Kol,
B'terem Kol,
Yitzir Nivra,
Yitzir Nivra,
Li'eit Nasa,
Li'et Nasa,
V'chefzo Kol.
V'chefzo Kol.
Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Adon Olam, Adon Olam,
Adon Olam,
Asher Malach,
Asher Malach,
V'terem Kol,
B'terem Kol,
Yitzir Nivra,
Yitzir Nivra,
Li'eit Nasa,
Li'et Nasa,
V'chefzo
V'chefzo
Kol.
Kol.
Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Adon Olam. Eli, Eli, Shelo Yigamer Le'olam, Hachol ve'hayam, Rishrush Shel Hamayim, Be'rak HaShamayim, Tfilat Ha'adam, Hachol ve'hayam, Rishrush Shel Hamayim, Be'rak HaShamayim, Tfilat Ha'adam. O source, HaShekhinah, I pray that these things never end. The sand and the sea, the rush of the waters, the crash of the heavens, the prayer of the heart, the sand and the sea, the rush of the waters, the crash of the heavens, the prayer of the heart. Well, one of the ways that we make sure that the world is taken care of is by each and every one of us trying to be a tzaddik, trying to be just, trying to do the right thing. Tzaddik katamar yifrach, yifrach, tzaddik katamar yifrach, tzaddik katamar yifrach, yifrach, tzaddik katamar yifrach. Ke'erez bavanon yizke, ke'erez bavanon yizke, ke'erez bavanon yizke, yizke. Ke'erez bavanon yizke, ke'erez bavanon yizke, ke'erez bavanon yizke, yizke. I hope that you had a wonderful time with us during Tat Shabbat. I hope that you're going to stay for the story to hear what happened to Kobe and Esmeralda in Tzfat in Israel. Yai lai la la lai la lai 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 la lai la la lai 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 la 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 lai 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 lai. Shabbat Shalom.
Hinei ma tov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hinei ma tov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hinei ma tov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hinei ma tov u'manayim,
together on this day.
How good it is,
How good it is,
how sweet it is,
how sweet it is to be together on this day.
Shalom Aleichem, Salam Aleikum. Shalom Aleichem, Salam Aleikum. Shalom Aleichem, Salam Aleikum. Shalom Aleichem, Salam Aleikum. Hinei matov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hinei matov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. How good it is,
How good it is,
how sweet it is,
how sweet it is to be together on this day.
How good it is,
How good it is,
how sweet it is,
how sweet it is to be together on this day.
Shalom Aleichem, Salam Aleikum. Shalom Aleichem, Salam Aleikum. Shalom Aleichem, Salam Aleikum. Shalom Aleichem, Salam Aleikum.
Shabbat Shalom. We continue with our Siddur this Shabbat. If you have Mishkan Tefillah at home, please turn with me to page 126. And if you are following online, you can see the PDF posted below our live stream link. I begin with a prayer of gratitude for all that is holy in my life. The source needs no words, no English or Hebrew, no semantics and no services, but I need them. Through prayer, I can sense my inner strength, my inner purpose, my inner joy, my capacity to love. As I reach upward in prayer, I sense these qualities in my Creator. To love HaShekhinah is to love each other, to work to make our lives better. To love HaShekhinah is to love the world that the Source created and to work to perfect it. To love the Source is to love dreams of peace and joy that illumine all of us and to bring that vision to life. 129, lifting our hearts in poetry from the Bible. I am to my beloved as my beloved is to me.
Todi li va'ani lo haroeh bashoshanim. Todi li va'ani lo haroeh bashoshanim. Mi zot olah min hamidbar, mi zot olah, mi zot olah. Levona, Todi li va'ani lo haroeh bashoshanim. Todi li va'ani lo haroeh bashoshanim. Lebaftini achoti kala, lebaftini kala, lebaftini achoti kala, lebaftini kala. Todi li va'ani lo haroeh bashoshanim. Todi li va'ani lo haroeh
la, la, la. 121. Our teacher, Martin Buber, taught, "Help me to perfect my ways. Inspire me to make myself whole so that I may honor your name and create a world of justice and peace." As we prepare ourselves to light the Sabbath candle, I welcome in prayers for all of those first responders, all of those teachers and nurses and grocery staff workers, all of those doctors and first responders, for all of the people who have put their lives on the line to protect us every day, and especially during COVID. We hold you in our hearts and on this Shabbat.
Baruch
atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Held by the light of the candles, allowing the week to fall away and presenting myself prepared, poised, ready, open-hearted to receive the Sabbath. 138.
Lechatoti lekhat kala yala 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 B'nei Shabbat nechavela Lechatoti lekhat kala yala yala B'nei Shabbat nechavela Shamor v'zachor v'divor echad Yishmiyanu el hamiuchad Adonai echad u'shemo echad L'shem u'tiferet v'le'tfilah Lechatoti likrat kala yala 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 B'nei Shabbat nechavela Lechatoti likrat kala yala yala B'nei Shabbat nechavela
140. In the middle of the page, Tzaddik Katamar Yifrach, the righteous, the just, bloom like a date tree. They thrive like the cedar in Lebanon.
Tzaddik katamar yifrach, yifrach, tzaddik katamar yifrach, tzaddik katamar yifrach, yifrach, tzaddik katamar yifrach. Ke'eretz balvanon yizke, ke'eretz balvanon yizke, ke'eretz balvanon yizke, yizke. Ke'eretz balvanon yizke, ke'eretz balvanon yizke, ke'eretz balvanon yizke, yizke. Katamar yifrach, yifrach, tzaddik katamar yifrach, tzaddik katamar yifrach, yifrach, tzaddik katamar yifrach. Ke'eretz balvanon yizke, ke'eretz balvanon yizke, ke'eretz balvanon yizke, yizke. Ke'eretz balvanon yizke,
146, we call one another into formal worship. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. $147. Oh, Hashekhinah, you are as near as the very air we breathe, yet farther than the farthest most star. We yearn to reach you. We seek the light and warmth of your presence. Though we say you are near, we are lonely and alone. Let our desire be so strong that it will tear the veil that keeps you from our sight. Let your light release our darkness and reveal the glory and joy of your presence. With love, 152, affirming our faith.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. 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 154. Please join me. You shall love Adonai, your source, with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might. Take to heart these instructions with which I charge you this day. Impress them upon your children. Recite them when you stay home and when you are away, when you lie down and when you get up. Bind them as a sign on your hand and let them serve as a symbol on your forehead. Inscribe them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. Thus you shall remember to observe my commandments and to be holy to the source. I am Adonai, your source, who brought you out of the land of Egypt to be your source. I am Adonai, HaShekhinah. Adonai Elohechem. 157.
Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands and marching together. 158.
Lie, 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 la, 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 lie, lie, la, lie, 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 la, la, lie, lie, la, lie, 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 lie. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nehedar b'kodesh, nora tehilot osef eleh, nora tehilot osef eleh. Malchutecha ra'uvanecha, chokei hayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam, ze'elianu ve'hamu, ze'elianu ve'hamu. Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed. Lai, 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 lai.
160. This prayer of the evening, asking for protection. Give us a place to rest, Adonai, our God. Bring us into the shelter, into the soft, long evening shadows of your truth. Hashkivenu, Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom.
Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, ve'amidenu shomreinu l'chaim. 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 Ushmor tzitzeinu uvoenu l'chaim u'shalom me'ata ve'ad olam. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, ve'amidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Lai, 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 lai.
Spread over us your shelter of peace, over all that we love, over Yerushalayim and all of its inhabitants, all of her inhabitants, and all of your children. 164. Prayer invites divine presence to suffuse our spirits, divine presence to prevail in our lives. Prayer may not bring water to parched fields, nor mend a broken bridge. For that we need infrastructure. But prayer can water an arid soul, mend a broken heart, rebuild a weakened will. Uttering Tfilat Amidah Belachash, a whisper arising from your hearts, giving voice to the prayers you bring on Shabbat. The traditional Tfilah continues through page 180. Indulge and find your prayer. Create a pure heart within me. Let my soul wake up to your light. Open me to your presence. Flood me with your Holy Spirit. Then I will stand and sing out the power of your forgiveness. I will teach your love to the lonely. The lost will find their way home. O Source, open my lips, and my mouth will declare your praise. page 653. Page 371. We offer this prayer of healing to members of our congregation who are struggling with challenges of healing of body and of soul. And together with that, for all of those who are joining us, we hold you or your loved ones, whoever is in need of healing at this time. Israel Aga, David Anderson, Amanda Batista, Susan Bosch, Susan Becker, Jenny Bryant, Tom Burrows, Audrey Cohn, Barbara Cohn, Robert Cook, Adele Corvin, Tyler Corvin, Louis Costello, Bob Davis, Yehuda Ben Leah V'chaim, John Gaudier, Shayna Ginsburg, Joy Gross, Ron Hall, Anna Hernandez, Darren Jacobs, Judy Jacobs, Seth Kerr, Susan Klamberg, Andrea Klein, Mary Jane Klein, Lou Klein, Lana Agram, Leah Levine Olaya, Paula Markovitz, Reverend Michelle Meach, Joe Michaels, Moshe Yosef, Howard Pellet, Stephanie Payusko, Carla Friedman, Ellie Edelwitz, Tony Rosenstein, Robin Stone, Ellen Vogeloff. Continued healing for George Wells, Celeste Jaron, Aaron Jacob, and Zachary Whittam, Ben Wilder, Phyllis Wellfield, and Gretchen Zimmerman, Todd Albelli, Tommy Anderson, Bonnie Amantra, Jan Bennett, Joe Callie, Michael Corvin, Steve Fine, Cheryl Fitzsimmons, Barbara Gallagher, Francine Glasser, Mark Greenberg, Marcia Hamburg, Valerie Henderson, George Jones, Danny Joseph, Anita Cantor, Heather Kite, Jill Levy, Corley, Charlie Littman, Nomi Laurie, David Mallon, Joan Moore, Ann Murkoff, Catherine Nicholson, Nevaeh Newsy, Orly Batsfia, Vachaya, Steve Perlmutter, Antoinette Phelan, Lillian Rich Schuster, Dave Rosenthal, Evie Rosenthal, Kyle Rothke, Barbara Salberg, Henry Sanderson, Shirley Schneider, Deborah Sears, Phil Searles, Sloan Shortley, Michelle Simon, Charles Slutsky, Elaine Trott, Mark Trott, Sandy Weiner, Karen Wilder, Luca Williams, the Livingston House staff and residents.
May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mishebeach imotenu mikor habracha lihavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah.
We like to say you can't take it with you when you go. A person is not judged by what they have or had. Each of us is remembered for the gifts we give to others. The things that we give away, not by the things that we hold on to, that we hoard. We never know where our gifts will end up. There is a lovely story about a couple who escaped from Spain, and they settled in Israel in the northern city of Tzfat. Their names were Jacobi and Esmeralda. Now, as olim, as new immigrants, Jacobi and Esmeralda had a lot to learn about Israel, Hebrew, for instance, and the culture, the things that happened in Israel that happened differently in Spain. Jacobi had not had the opportunity to pray. He didn't know the prayers, especially not in Hebrew. But he was a deeply religious individual, and he wanted to serve the Sacred One. One Shabbat, as he was sitting in services and listening to the rabbi, Jacobi heard the rabbi speak about the special showbread, the special offerings that the priests brought to the temple, the Beit Mikdash in Jerusalem in ancient times. And Jacobi had a brilliant idea. Jacobi ran home to Esmeralda, his wife. He said, Esmeralda, did you know that HaKadosh Baruch Hu loves challah? I didn't know that. I never heard that. Yes, HaKadosh Baruch Hu loves loves chalot more than anything else. I learned it today from the rabbi. It's written in the Torah. It turns out, Esmeralda, my wife, that you are the best challah maker I have ever met. Would it be an imposition on Friday night, when you're making us our challah, that you make 12 more chalot? Jacobi, 12 more chalot? Esmeralda, that's what's written in the Torah, that the priests would bring 12 chalot to the Kadosh Baruch Hu. If that's what God would want, I am happy to do it. And so Esmeralda kneaded and mixed and baked her challah, braided them, 1 for Kobe and Esmeralda, and 12 for Kobe to take to the synagogue. Kobe put the chalot inside a bag, and he made his way to synagogue quite early. Before Shabbat, he snuck in, not seeing anybody nearby, and he began to sneak up to the Aron HaKodesh, and he opened the Aron HaKodesh, and he took from his bag 12 chalot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 10, 11, 12 chalot lined inside the Aron HaKodesh. I hope you're going to enjoy these chalot O Holy One, I am a simple man, an immigrant who moved to Israel, but my rabbi said that you love chalot. Kobe snuck out of the synagogue, and no sooner had he passed that Luis, the shomer, the gabbai, was walking down the hall, sweeping a little bit, dusting, and speaking to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. I'm a little bit blue today, O Holy One. You know that I love to set the synagogue up. I love to clean and sweep and dust and prepare the candles for Shabbat. But I fear that this will be the last time, the last Shabbat that I will be able to do it, because, I have many children at home and the synagogue can't pay me. I do this as a mitnadev, as a volunteer, and while I love to volunteer my time, the reality is that I have to feed my children. So this will be my last Shabbat. And as Luis opened the Aron HaKodesh to prepare the Torahs for Shabbat, what did he see? 12 chalot. Not one, not two, but 12 chalot. HaKadosh Baruch Hu, said Luis, you heard my prayers. Thank you so much. I have enough challah, not just for Shabbat, but with these 12 chalot, I have enough to feed my children for an entire week. The next morning, Jacobi came to synagogue. He sat down in his usual chair. He was so excited. He couldn't wait to see if HaKadosh Baruch Hu, if the Shekhinah, if the Holy One had liked Esmeralda's chalot. He waited for the part of the service where the rabbi would tell everyone to stand up, and they stood up, and the rabbi opened the Aron HaKodesh, and sure enough, Jacobi was shocked. Look, there are no chalot, said Jacobi to himself. He could hardly contain himself. He was so excited. He wanted to go home and tell Esmeralda that the Holy One, blessed be the source, had enjoyed her chalot.
Lai 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 lai.
Esmeralda, Esmeralda, you're not going to believe what happened. Kobe, take a breath. Tell me everything. What happened? Sure enough, I put the 12 chalot in the Aron HaKodesh. I left them there, and I came back this morning to daven shacharit, and sure enough, all the chalot are gone. Could it be? It's gotta be. The Holy One loved your chalot, Esmeralda. If it's not too much, would you mind making 12 more chalot next week? And so it went. Every week, week after week, month after month, year after year, Kobe would ask Esmeralda to bake 12 more chalot. Kobe would sneak into the synagogue and place the chalot in the Aron HaKodesh. Kobe would leave without anyone seeing him, and in would walk Luis, who would think that this was his last Shabbat to volunteer at synagogue, and to his surprise, each week he would find the chalot in the Aron HaKodesh. This went on for 20 years. Week after week, month after month, year after year, until one day, Kobe came a little bit later than usual. Kobe was speaking to God. Kobe said to God, God, I know that you love my wife Esmeralda's chalot, and I have 12 here for you, and I'm going to just place them in the Aron HaKodesh. But on that Shabbat, the rabbi came early, and the rabbi walked into the Beit Knesset and heard Kobe speaking to God. Kobe, what are you doing? Said the rabbi. Rabbi, Esmeralda is the best challah maker in the world, and she's made 12 chalot for God, just like you taught me, just as it's written in the Torah, just as the priest did in temple times. Esmeralda made chalot for God. Kobe, don't you know that God doesn't have eyes and ears or a mouth? That God doesn't eat or need your challah? What foolishness! What nonsense! What foolish dikim are you doing? Have I taught you nothing? Kobe insisted, but Rabbi, I'm telling you, God takes the 12 chalot every week, every month, for 20 years. Now, this really surprised the rabbi, and he wanted to get to the bottom of it. So he said to him, okay there, Kobe, you place those chalot into the ark like you have been doing every week, every month, every year. And then you come and hide with me, and let's together get to the bottom of this. And so they did. They hid behind the pews, and of course, in walked Luis, brooming, dusting, setting up the sidurim and the machzorim, and saying, "Oh, Holy One, you need to know that this will be the last week that I can volunteer at shul because I have so many children to feed, and now I have grandchildren 20 years later." And he opened the Aron HaKodesh, and he said, God, you remembered again my 12 chalot. Out jumped the rabbi, out jumped Kobe, and Kobe said, what do you mean, Luis? What do you mean your chalot? Those are my chalot for God. What do you mean, Kobe? These are the chalot that God has given me. And the two men fought back and forth. They're my chalot. Esmeralda made them. They're my chalot. God has made them for me. And the rabbi was watching this, and the rabbi was upset with both of them. What are you two doing? I don't even know what to do of this. And so the rabbi decided that he would go to the great Ari, the great rabbi of rabbis in Tzfat, and he would ask the Ari what to do. And so the rabbi approached Ha'ari, the rabbi of Tzfat, who was davening in his shul. And the rabbi approached him and said, "Oh, I don't mean to disturb you, oh great rabbi, but I need to share with you that for the last 20 years, two of the people in my community have been doing such foolishness. One has been putting challah in the ark, thinking that his wife was making the challah for God, and the other's been taking the challah from his ark, thinking that God had prepared that challah for him and for his children. It's blasphemy what Jacobi and Luis have done." And the great Ari said, "Oh, Rabbi, do not chastise these men. They are not fools. They are not sinners. The opposite. They are tzaddikim. They are just and pious men. For 20 years, they have delighted HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the source of creation, Jacobi, by bringing bread each week, and Luis by accepting it, a gift from the source. Every week, when Jacobi brings bread and Luis receives the bread, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is filled with delight. Jacobi brings the bread, Luis accepts the bread, and God gets all the credit. You must ask their forgiveness, Rabbi. You now must do the hardest thing. You must tell Jacobi and Luis to return to their ways, to pretend that you never caught them in this act. And they should carry on and continue just as they have always. Jacobi and Esmeralda making the challah and presenting it in the Aron HaKodesh. Luis accepting it, and both of them knowing in perfect faith that this was exactly the will of the divine and as God wished. And so it was. Every week, Esmeralda made 12 additional chalot. Jacobi would sneak into the synagogue and put it in the Aron HaKodesh. Luis would come in volunteering, not knowing how to make ends meet, and be surprised by the chalot he received from HaKadosh Baruch Hu, from the source of all creation. So we expected to be with you this week, and I look forward to being with you next week here in Kingston. Again, for anyone who is not able to join us at Hasbrook Park, weather permitting, and I'm counting on the fact that it will be beautiful. So please make sure that you remember that you can tune in virtually if you are at a distance or not comfortable coming out. Next week, all of our classes at synagogue will be as scheduled: meditation, Torah study, trope class, and conversational Hebrew class. Shabbat summer services will be every Friday in July and August, outdoors, beginning at 6 p.m. Check the website for updates, and remember that we are always live streaming. Tisha B'Av, for today and tomorrow. Join me as I work together with members of the Committee on Spiritual Practice to lift up a history, passages, poetic passages of Lamentations, of Eicha, a discussion and a dialogue and a contemplation of what Tisha B'Av can be for us today and tomorrow. July 17th at 7 p.m., outdoors in Cornell Park in Kingston on Wirtz Street. Sisterhood's annual Rosh Hashanah sale is here. Send the sweetest of New Year greetings to your family and friends. Information and order forms were mailed to everyone, and you can also access it by looking at the email link or the order online. Save on shipping and order before July 7th. Contact Bonnie Lober or the main office for more information and support. Registration is open for our Zimit Religious School for the 2021-2022 school year. The CEHV community is thrilled to be welcoming a new religious school director, Jonathan Billig. He will be leading our young people and our teachers, guiding them as we lift our educational adventure to the next level. Register online or contact the main office. Can you help feed your neighbors who are food insecure? Around the corner on Clinton Avenue, there is the Blue Fridge. The Community Food Access and Security Initiative from Congregation Emmanuel is looking for each and every member of our congregation to get involved, to make a food donation to the community fridge, the Blue Fridge, located at Clinton Avenue at the United Methodist Church in Kingston. I made a drop today on my way into synagogue. It happens every week that I bring fruits and vegetables that before I've closed the fridge, there's a family that comes and takes some of the fruits and vegetables that I've put in. Our focus is donations of fresh fruit and vegetables, but please know that while we hope that our community will really provide that fresh fruit and vegetable donations, all donations will be appreciated: eggs, dairy, and healthy prepared meals. Whatever you can do, donations should be packaged and dated with the drop-off date. Please do not bring any expired items. Bring what you would eat and feed your family. We are urging you to make a donation once a week, once a month. Become part of our community's initiative to feed our neighbors. More information on the Blue Fridge and on this initiative from our congregation can be found online and in the weekly email. $594. Why should I wish to see the sacred better than this day? I see something of the divine in each hour of the 24 and each moment then. I see the divine in the faces of all people and in my own face in the glass. I find letters from HaMakor dropped in the street, and everyone is signed with HaShekhinah's name. And I leave them for where they are, for I know that wheresoever I go, others will punctually come forever and ever. As we honor our loved ones who have died in this season, whose yard sites are being observed this week, I remind the community that our hearts are equally with those in our community who have sustained recent losses, who are saying Kaddish for their loved one who died in this past month or in this past year. Yard sites: Milton Adler, Mason Bosch, Ida Brackman, Bob Brackman's mother, Milton Dubin, Arthur Ewig, Barbara Ronder's father, Dolly Florence, George Greenberg, Florence Halprin, Andrew Halprin's mother, Eva Honig, Celia Christianblum, Archibald Lichtenstein, Fred and Joan Quarterer, remember. Nathan Lippman, Charlie Lippman's grandfather, Jake Markovitz, Paula Markovitz's husband, and Abe Markovitz's father. And Barney Millins, Joan, remembered by Joan Millins, Louis Newfield, remembered by Ronald Neufeld, Sussman Newland, Michael Ross, Walter Rothblatt, remembered by Fonda Rothblatt, Fonda's brother, Joseph Sherry, Ray Siegel, Augusta Wetterhahn, Benjamin Wolfe, Goldie Zackheim, remembered by Michael Zackheim, Michael Zackheim's mother. Zichronam livracha, may their memories be for a blessing. 598, Kaddish Yitom. Yitgadal v'yitkadash Shemei Rabbah Be'alma divrach irutei v'yamlich malchutei B'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael Ba'agala uv'izman kariv v'imru Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah mevorach le'olam ul'almei olmaya Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh V'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yit'alal Shmei d'kudusha b'richu Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata Tush b'chata v'nechemata da'amiram bi'alma v'imru Amen. Yehei shlama Rabbah min shmaya V'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol b'nei Adam ve'imru. Amen. 649, Hava Nashira. Come, let's be filled with joy on this summer eve. Let's notice our blessings. Let's celebrate Shabbat.
Hava, Hava Nashira, Shir Hallelujah, Shir Hallelujah. Hava, Hava Nashira, Shir Hallelujah, Shir Hallelujah. Hava, Hava Nashira, Shir Hallelujah, Shir Hallelujah. Hava. Vayihi erev, vayihi voker, yom hashishi. Vayichulu hashamayim v'haaretz v'chol tziva'am. Vayichol Elohim bayom hashvi'i melachto asher asa. Vayishpot bayom hashvi'i mikol melachto asher asa. Vayivarech Elohim et yom hashvi'i vayikadesh oto ki V'ho Shabbat mikol melachto asher bara Elohim la'asot savri. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam borei peri hagafen amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu Shabbat kohodsho, be'ahava uvatzon hinchilanu, zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit, ki hu yom techila, lemikra kodesh, zecher yitziat mitzrayim, kivanu v'acharta, ve'otanu kedashta, Im kol ha'amim v'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh hashabbat Amen. Hamotzi lechem min haaretz We give thanks to the source for bread. Our voices rise in song together as our joyful prayer is said. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom.